Here we are. Welcome to Ignited Inspired Insight, a space for real conversations with beautiful humans. I'm your host, Jae, teacher, guide, and student of exploring energy and empowering that safety within self. Here, I get to have these beautiful conversations with excellent humans. I'm so excited. We explore 3 questions to open the door to reflection, resonance, and revelation. One question I ask every guest, one is one they don't expect, and one they get to ask me, and maybe they'll answer themselves as well. This is a space for truth, trust, and kind of insight that comes from simply being human. Let's get into it. So, here today we have Kahurangi. I'm so excited. She is actually a Gemini twin sister, like actually born on the same day. And we honestly haven't spent a lot of time together, but I can feel the spark and the ignite in you, and I'm excited, so excited to have this convo. So I want to hand it over to you. Who are you, Kahurangi?
Kia ora, he uri tēnei o ngā puhi o whakatōhia o te whanau punui o Ngāti Porou Whānui hoki. I'm a descendant of different tribes here in Aotearoa in New Zealand and the North Island. I'm currently in Uawa, and my beautiful name that I was named after my kuia, my nan, is Kahurangi. And I'm really happy to be here, really excited to, just get into beautiful connecting conversations with you. And maybe we'll see what time we were born. Maybe we were born at the same time as well.
Yeah,
We never know.
we should check that out. Actually, I know. Mine's 1:08 p.m. in the Arvo.
Mine is 4:20 a.m.
Oh, we're way off.
We're
You're a
way off.
morning baby.
We're way off. Or 4:20 p.m.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I can't remember, but we're still off.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, hi. Thank you.
Hi. I love that you brought that up because when I discovered that I was born at 1 in the afternoon, I was like, oh, that's why I like having a moi then.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
We
that's why I
do.
like having a like little rest time or a little like just a me
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
Because that was your time that you came in and you just want
yeah,
to vanish in that. Go back
yeah,
to
yeah.
beautiful.
Exactly, exactly. All right, my love. Here's the first question. This is one question that I get to ask every guest, and every time will be a divinely different answer.
Mhm.
So the question is, what's one belief, moment, or experience that changed the way you see the world?
Mm. That changed the way that I see the world. Currently, I'm getting flashbacks of my timeline up until now, because even as a child, there's so many different things that has come up that's changed the way that I've viewed things or felt into things. However, the biggest one that created shifts and change within me was probably when we were at Lake Wanaka,
Mm.
and we done our breath work, went into it with Shalita and Dr. Brett, and there was so much powerful energy there in that space. A lot of miri miri was going on, a lot of puoro, and just in that time with my energy plus everyone else's, I went through a transition, and through that transition, it didn't change, but it opened my mind and my heart to so much more that I was closed off from, I feel, or that was blocked within me.
Mhm.
And when I get questions like this or similar conversations, my mind always goes back to that, because that's really what just opened the floodgates, really, for
Mhm.
everything to come through, and not just all in love and goodness, but also in teaching me how to put the walls back up and how to put protection without closing off.
Mhm.
Uh, and I'm still in the work of understanding and learning how to do that as well. However, that is probably my answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
It
I'm still
was,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it changed the way you see, from what I'm hearing, it changed the way you see your world. And I can speak from experience because I was actually at that event. And I think that what also happened is what you're saying is that there was just like we were experiencing so much more of what is possible and what is available to us in that weekend. It was like, and when you say it like opened your eyes, it was like, whoa, there's a whole lot more magic here than I've been tapping into, and in such a beautiful way. Hey.
Yeah, it was. And also seeing and just being a part of sitting in everyone else's magic and
Hmm.
power was such a warm, beautiful feeling to be a part of.
Yeah.
Especially ones where I didn't even know was possible. Angelic singing, angelic voices.
Hmm.
And yeah, it really opens my own world up to so much more. It pushed the boundary of my own imagination.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, that was a really intense, powerful wānanga,
It sure was.
especially on that water.
Yeah.
In that water, you could feel the mauri that's stored there. Yeah,
And for a long time after too.
yeah, and for a
Yeah.
long time after as well.
So if it changed the way you see the world or even your world, um, what do you think, or what did you do differently after that? And there's probably many things, but what's one thing that jumps out, that maybe the way you treat yourself, or even just like an activity that you started doing after that?
It changed my world, and in the most profound way, it's made me realize more of my place within myself and in this world. And so the biggest thing that changed afterwards was my belief in myself
Hmm.
and belief in my own power. And that's, yeah, my own, like, mana motake, my own, how do I explain that? Individuality, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, to be me,
Hmm.
not always trying to make myself smaller. If I'm in spaces where being myself is too much for everyone else or it's too loud, really understanding that this is who I am and this is the person that I've come on this beautiful earth to be, and not to shy away from that, because by doing that, I'm doing a disservice to
Hmm.
myself and to my soul. And that's been the biggest part. And again, I'm still
Yeah.
learning to
It's
stand
a
in.
work in progress.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
However, so much more growth since then,
Hmm.
and just showing up and being.
Mm. Yay.
Yeah.
What I hear in that, and what I feel from your description, is like, is an authenticity but also a sacredness
Mm,
in honoring who you are and showing up as that. And it's
y-
it's not only a disservice to you, it's a disservice to others because they don't get to see that true bright light.
yeah, it's exactly that. And it's feeling more safe within myself to show up, not
Hmm.
having to have, if you're in a group, it's so easy to be yourself and show up
Hmm.
because you're protected by these people. And it's being able to show up when you're by yourself. Because at that one again, the whole floodgates, the biggest part was I'm not alone. I'm always
Hmm.
protected.
Hmm.
My ancestors, my whānau are always there with me, and I feel that in my bones now. So when I
Yeah.
am in spaces and when I am feeling maybe scared or anxious or a little afraid, I know that I'm not alone, and it creates the biggest momentum within me to carry on and to persevere, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. That's
Yeah.
such a beautiful answer, and I love that you even brought me back to remembering that event because it was so powerful.
I'm so grateful as well because I haven't thought about that in a while. And even more than that, I haven't felt into that
Mhm.
in a while. And so talking about it, it's bringing up a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of love.
It's nice to reflect on because it actually brings that power back and that remembering, hey?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Yay!
Oh,
Okay, here we are in the second question, which this like portion of the episode is called "In the Moment" because Kahurangi doesn't know the question I'm about to ask her. So this question for you, my love, is: what would your soul choose if it didn't need to make sense? I know you might think about that, but what would your soul choose if it didn't need to make sense?
love. That's the thing that came to me straight away. And it's not just love within myself, but loving everything. Like this tree behind me, I love that tree behind me because it grows feijoas every summer, and I love feijoas. They're my favorite fruit. These birds, I love these birds because I know that they're not just birds, they're messages that are coming through, and they're always talking to me. Uh, the kai that I eat, I'm so grateful for the trees or the gardens that made those kais. I love them in gratitude for that. Even just people that I meet, like why can't we love strangers? Um, yeah. So if my soul could choose something that didn't have to make sense, it's just love, loving
Mhm,
everything and everyone without having conditions to it, because love is
mhm,
unconditional. Um, Loving the way that people talk. Some people talk in poetry, and
mhm,
it's like sunshine on my face to my heart when I hear people talk in rhythms and rhymes. Um, the way that people smile, the way that when I'm sleeping in my room, because the beach is just across, there's a street of houses and then another street on the road and then the beach. And
mhm.
I love the way that when I'm sleeping, there's a rock and the waves just crash on it. And I love that I can hear that. Yeah, that would be mine is love. Loving
Yeah,
things
yeah,
I understand
yeah.
just
So,
because.
so in that, do you feel like, because you mentioned conditioning, which I agree, but I want to get a bit more clarity. Do you feel like there's some people or there's a way of being where we feel like that loving everything doesn't make sense?
Yes. And I feel that sometimes the way that love is taught is that if you want to be loved, you have to do something to gain that love. And that's the condition that I was talking about. That's conditional.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I get that. So in that lens of it of love being transactional,
That's the word.
therefore it doesn't make sense to love something just because.
Yeah.
And that's what you're saying is you want to live in a space where it's not transactional. There is no like it needs to be this for me to be that. It's just like I love everything and everyone without them needing to be something for me.
Without having to receive anything as well. And that's
Mhm.
still a learning for me also,
Mhm. Yeah.
is that even though this person has hurt me, like I don't want to love, they don't deserve my love. However, I still do.
Mhm.
And that doesn't make sense for my brain to comprehend around.
Mm.
Uh, it's even inanimate objects. Like I'm looking at this pot plant. I'm like, I really love that pot plant, and I don't know why. I had never noticed that pot plant before. But since we've been talking, I've been looking at it, and I'm like, actually, I like the color of it. I like the way that it's shaped, the
Yeah.
painting on it. I really love that pot plant. Uh, and another one is over time, over pain and hurt. People close off and they
Mhm.
shut themselves off from feeling pain, and in doing so, they shut themselves off from feeling love because of that. And that is something that I was feeling into as well with the soul question, because that's something that doesn't make sense to me, is to always give your love off, even though the only proof that you have from doing so is pain, is heartache, and is disappointment. And again, it's persevering through that and
Mm.
not allowing those things to have control over what you do, to limit your love.
Hmm.
And it's just loving just because, yeah.
Yeah. Which, upon reflection, like as I'm listening to you, it's still in a way it's transactional. It's like we had evidence and now that means
Yeah,
instead of just because.
yeah,
And it's such a beautiful thing. So it all adds up to the same result. It's like loving anyway. But
yeah,
what I'm hearing is that it's also makes complete sense because the heart field is far greater and far stronger than this mind that needs to make sense.
yep. Mhm.
And it's so inspiring to really to see and feel into that. And this is exactly why we having this is why I wanted to have these conversations, because what I'm hearing from you is what I'm also like what we really know is that you're in deep gratitude and appreciation. You're
Mm,
in this vibration of loving everything as best you can because we're human and we know that, right?
yeah, yep.
But that's the intention and that's the drive for you, and I can feel it and it's so powerful.
Mm.
But
Thank you.
I love what you said about like when life gets hard, we lose the want for that because we've got evidence of the opposite. And it makes whatever it is that hurt us, we make it mean that there isn't love there or that we don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're saying let's do that anyway.
Let's do it anyway.
Yeah,
Because
I
the more that
agree.
we can give proof that even if we carry on doing it, it's still fueling us,
Hmm.
then it becomes easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's coming from within. It's not, we're not trying to externally grab it to give it. So it's not depleting us, it's actually
Hmm.
fueling us because we're also staying true to our own power.
Hmm.
And that's the point where I want to get to.
Yeah, yeah.
Because yes, we are human,
Yeah.
and I can get there, and I'm starting early.
Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it. Yeah, and some days you'll be totally there.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I will be on the other side
Yeah.
of the whole spectrum, and that's okay because that's still
Yeah. But see, even that is love. Like that and being in the understanding, the acceptance of the human experience, like that's love too. It's like I'm not always going to be there, but I'm striving for it at every time I can. It's actually but
yeah,
unrealistic to expect us to be there all the time because we are human and there's all those other factors that we work with, not against, but work with. It's such a powerful thing to for other people to hear, and I know what will be being ignited in them and hearing this convo, and it's so powerful. But
mm,
what I also hear is and want to reflect on in that is like love is like the ultimate renewable resource. Like there is always more. But in that mentality of transaction, we think that we have a certain amount, like a bank account, and we have
yeah,
to choose where it goes out, right? But
yeah,
it's that's not true because when there's more love, there's more love.
yeah. It grows.
It
It's one of
grows.
those things that just the more you give, the more it grows on, and the more you get back,
Hmm.
it
Yeah.
grows. And before we carry on, I actually want to get your view or your answer to this question as well, because something's
Hmm.
been pulling me towards what are you feeling into for your soul? If you could
Yeah.
choose something that doesn't make sense.
I think a piece that's been coming through for me is is around the voice and around like making sound and like letting sounds and ticks and just like all the crazy sounds that come out of me. And you might have heard that when I've been healing on the table, but like letting that come out more often and knowing that there's healing in that, but the brain is like, but it doesn't make sense. Like, even if it doesn't sound good, like the sounds that we need to make sometimes don't, they're not, but we have this perception, this making sense of, it needs to sound good in order for it to be good, or in order for it to be healing, or in order it to be healthy. And I'm like, no, no, it's sound. It has to, it's in the sound, it's in the whatever it is that the healing is happening for myself or for another. So the humanness is, there's a block there of like, well, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's beyond the human brain.
And I hear you as well. There's, and I've seen this coming up on social media, that there's, because of social media, there's a thing that you have to be performative for it to be healing or to create change. It has to sound good, it has to look good, be good. And that's something that I notice as well, that comes up for me when I'm doing things, and I have to ground and come back in and just allow myself to be and sound however it's coming out. But that is hard
Mhm,
because I can tell that I'm judging myself, or I'm thinking of myself through someone else's lens and how crazy or unethical that must look, and then I
mhm,
change so it looks a certain way. So I definitely can hear and feel into what you're saying, because I also don't allow myself to just let the sounds go out, even when I'm crying.
mhm.
If
Yeah,
I'm crying, instead of just letting the body weep and let go and cry, I'm controlling it. I'm like, no, no, it can't be that loud. And I'm
mhm.
still by myself. So,
Yeah,
yeah, thank you for sharing that. That is something that I want to work on as well.
yeah.
Or not work on, but just have more awareness around it.
No, I mean, it's a beautiful korero because what it makes me think of is even, you know, when you talk about crying and not like letting it be loud, as I remember that moment as my sister was passing, and I was like, no, I'm going to let this rip. Like, I'm
Mm.
going to be as loud as that. And then there was this like knowing that I was not just crying for myself, I was crying for the others that couldn't quite let that volume
Yeah.
be heard. And but then it also, I share that because it, when I think about that, it, there's moments where you just cannot control. It's like so like brutally hurtful that you just like you got to let it go. Like you're not in that thinking. But
Yeah.
I also think that it baffles me that we've got to a point where we repress that.
Mm.
Like that it's not okay to be in our full expression. There's a really big difference between violence and anger, but there's a lot of people that perceive it's not okay to be in and to express anger.
Yeah.
And that crying, but then and so we're going away from like the, but it's all volume and it's all sound and it's all vibration and it's all release, whether it be sounding good or not. And it's who we are. And what I wanted to come back to was what you're sharing about social media is like your true purpose is to be exactly you.
Mhm.
Like that's the medicine the world needs, is who you are without those limitations or those perceptions.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Uh,
it's not an easy feat to get to.
it isn't. And that's just going back onto conditions.
Yeah,
To
but it
how
can be.
going into school. In school, you're really set in different conditions on how to be, how not to be,
Mhm.
um, and what's perceived to be the right way to act as a child.
Yeah.
And especially then that differs between females and males as well.
Mhm.
But that's another subject. I do want to go back and touch on there's a difference between violence and anger, um,
Mm.
because I'm in learning that. I'm not really an angry person. I've never allowed myself, I would say, to be angry because I've always had angry people around me. So
Mhm.
I've been the person to stay calm and navigate through that for other people, which never actually allowed me to have space to be angry and feel that, not violent, but angry.
Mhm.
And so when I hear angry, I automatically subconsciously connect that with violence. And hearing you talk has made awareness for me that that's something that I need to look into as well, because I know that a lot of people do see anger as violence because they haven't had people who have expressed their anger without hurting someone else, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the violence. And so when there's anger, the violence is automatically connected to that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's really working on disconnecting and communicating between it's okay for me to be angry as long as I'm not hurting anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay for you to be angry, but you can't point that anger towards me.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to, yeah, thank you for touching on that because it is something that's okay to feel,
Mm-hmm.
be.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And often I think with that perception of, like you say, a lot of people connect the moment there's anger, it's violence.
Mm,
But with if we can hold space for the understanding of that some of our people around us need to be in that anger and it's not violent, they just need someone to see that anger.
yeah.
And if we can step back from what they're saying and just know that there's a deeper understanding to it, then we don't make it about us, but it also doesn't hurt. We're like, I'm actually can stand here in this, and you can throw that at me, but I'm okay because I know it's not about that.
Yeah. Oh, and that's so powerful as well.
Hmm.
Being able to not take it personally.
It's massive. It's massive, and I think that the world, and or even just if we zoom in, like our relationships would be better if we can do that because the repression is what's causing some suffering,
Yeah.
and it is what shapes us into something that we're not. Is in that
Allowing people
repression.
to be angry.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, that is beautiful.
Mm. It's a work in progress, and that's why I like to discern between the violence and the anger, because that doesn't mean accepting violence, not in any way, shape, or form. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
voice.
I know.
My
Voice.
voice.
There we go.
Yeah. Stunning.
Yeah, yeah. Alrighty, we're in our third question, third section now, which is reflecting light. And Kahurangi now has the invitation to ask me a question. So
Yes.
we'll see where this goes.
Ah, okay. My question, what's coming to me is childhood. So I feel that my question wants to be if, so it's a two-part question.
Mm-hmm.
Question. The first one is if you, as who you are now, was able to go back to, let's say, between 7 to 14-year-old Jay, uh, and meet her, how would you show up for her
Mm.
um, in that time? And the
Mm-hmm.
second part was, as you are now, if you knew that your higher self, your older self, was always with you and is with you right now, how would you show up more in the world?
Okay. So
If
is the
that makes
second question in relation to the first one or
Yeah.
yeah, okay. The first one is easy because I've done a lot of work in that area. So I've been and met those younger versions of myself.
Mhm.
Um and I've even been in that meditation, I've been in that process, I've been in that connection, and all those younger versions of me now walk with me, which is
Ah,
really yeah, yeah.
okay.
We're a team and it's really beautiful. I think that acknowledging the younger versions of us is really powerful and understanding that we can go back and give them what they required at that time. We can actually meet their needs now and really just acknowledge, yeah, the tools they had and the tools I have and bring them together. I
Yeah.
think that this, if I could jump into, like, actually jump into being 7 and be there with that 7-year-old in time,
Mm,
like time jump, it would be to find ways to express where it does feel safe. Keep expressing.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh,
it goes on to what we're talking about, but there were a lot of reasons
yeah,
in my
that's
life that I didn't feel safe to do that. And one really big secret that I hadn't had the courage to share yet. But what that did was lock down a whole lot of other expression. And so that would be, and I'm sort of talking to my 7-year-old self now,
Mhm.
that would be what I would tell her for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yee. Yeah. And then the second part, can you ask me again?
And then the second part is, since you've already done this work, it's probably
Yeah.
gonna come easy to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
However, the second part was, so if you had your highest, oldest self here with you, I feel that it's more, what would you like to hear from her? What would you like to
Ah,
know?
yeah,
Actually,
okay.
just to go
I
on that.
love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. So, well, higher self, I'm always in the endeavor to connect with and want to be in the listening of and know that that's greater than the mind or the human self.
Yeah.
But so I'm always like every day, that's what my practices are about connecting with that higher vision and that higher intelligence of not just me, but of all of this
Mm.
beautiful universe. Um, Future self, I think about that, and that's what drives me. Is all I want is just my future self to be proud of the courage that
Oh,
it
yeah.
took. I want my future self to constantly be proud of the risks I took and the
Mm.
healing that I surrendered to. And
I
that's what I want for when I get to the end of my days. I want to be so fucking proud of the relationships that I have and the love that vibrated out the whole way along.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That is awesome. That's so beautiful. Yes, I see that and I feel
Yeah.
that. And you're doing it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah. What about you? What is it for your higher self?
yeah.
What is it that you want, or what are you listening for?
What am I listening for? So at the moment, something that I'm actually currently listening for and waiting for the beautiful big signs and um, the courage of the wind pushing me
Mm,
is more into my own power. What is my power? What is it that I'm really here to create and to change and to uplift or break for, I feel, my and above me's generation,
mhm,
definitely for women. And that's what I've been listening for, waiting for,
mhm,
looking at the signs. Even in mahi, because I'm not currently working at the moment.
mhm,
So I'm putting the feelers out from within out into the universe on, okay, I'm being really intentional on what I would what I would like
yeah,
and the uncomfortability that I know is going to come with that and being okay with that as well.
mhm.
But still standing in my own way, still standing in my own way,
Yeah, yeah.
trying to listen more to my heart than my head. Because my heart is like, just jump in and
Mhm.
figure it out. And my head is like, you don't have to because you got time. Uh, and they're
Which
both
both have
right.
some reasoning.
Yeah, they're both correct in their own way. So I'm really trying to listen out for that. Is it Libra? You know, that one thing that just topples.
The balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, for one
Yeah.
thing to come through more. So that's mine. And
I love
just
that.
when I'm feeling sad or lonely, I do the thing where they're with me. Because when I'm here now, I go back to when I could remember
Mhm,
me needing some company and love as a young child and going like, I'm here with you, like you're okay, it's okay. So taking that and putting it into the highest future self and knowing that if I am in those depths or wallows, that they're there and they're telling me
Yeah.
like, "You're all good, it's okay." And that means that I just need to feel what I'm feeling, um, and carry on instead of just staying in it. I'm really good at My brain is really good at making me believe that this is it, this is how you're gonna feel forever. So yeah, I'm really grateful for her, and I'm just really grateful for me. Yeah, that'll be my answer. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I love it. So powerful.
Um,
I love the way our conversation is weaved today. And
yeah,
I do know that it will be of service in listening. I mean, it's been of service to me. I love what it sparks. And um, that's the whole point, right? Is that the korero is so healing in itself. And that's another motivation for this podcast is understanding that there's so much wisdom within all of us. And in hearing other people's stories, we get to discover that we're not alone.
yeah, and it creates different healings from everyone. It heals
Hmm.
different hearts, different wounds.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
grateful that you invited me here because my stomach is on fire, and that's my knowing, my intuition, and
Yes.
it's so like pumped and excited, and I feel so stimulated, uh, and unlocked. Energy has been unlocked,
Hmm. Yeah.
and I'm really
Bring it
grateful
on.
for flowing, and I'm so
Yes.
excited to reflect after this and just
Yes, me
let
too.
down. Yeah. So
Yeah, me
again,
too.
thankful for this podcast,
Mm,
your beautiful mind, and these really like thought-provoking questions
mm.
have been so deep and straight away too. Didn't even need
Yeah.
to think about it. Um, that's just what it provoked.
Yeah.
And thank you. Yeah.
It's an absolute pleasure. An absolute pleasure. So for all of you that are listening, thank you for being here to and in igniting inspired insight. I hope that something here landed in your heart or sparked a shift or simply reminded you of your own healing. You can find out more about our work and everything else in the show notes. And until next time, stay open, be grounded, and let your light guide the way.
Yay. Hi,